Hello and welcome to this second session of virtual bridging between Year 11 and Year 12 to help you prepare for the start of sixth form in September. Today's session is going to focus on how to get the most out of your sixth form experience. So in the first session we talked about study skills and note taking and how to have a schedule and a timetable and how to really get to grips with the academic demands of sixth form. This session is going to look also at how you get the most out of sixth form in a sort of wider curricular sense. What can you do outside of the classroom to enable you to really enjoy your time in sixth form and really get the most out of it in the most comprehensive way, so that you grow as a person. What we want for our sixth formers is for you to grow academically. We want you to grow as a person as well, and so that means embracing some challenges and looking for some opportunities outside of the classroom, as well as working hard on your studies. So let's begin. One of the most important things is to take all of the opportunities that are offered to you and also to try and carve out some opportunities in areas that you are interested in. Here is a list of some of the opportunities that have been offered in the last 12 to 18 months for our sixth formers. Some of these may be problematic in the current climate, but a lot of them have been offered in virtual form in recent times. As you can see, there are opportunities of an academic nature here: MedSoc medical coaching program, mock trial events, university visits, the CERN trip, healthcare sector taster days and university events, STEM and engineering projects, etc., etc. But there are also opportunities here for you to develop your interpersonal skills, develop your communication skills, and to also help out others. Things like sports coaching and classroom assistance and reading help and care home volunteering and charity quiz nights and being in the student committee. There is something here for everybody to enable you to grow as a person outside of the classroom, as well as growing academically inside the classroom. And this list is really just the beginning of potential opportunities and activities. It is your sixth form. Myself and Miss Thika and the tutors, our job is just to be the custodians of that sixth form, but it is your sixth form. So if there are opportunities that you want to follow, if there are different activities that you would like to run, then you should come and see me and ask, and we will try and facilitate that. Similarly, any opportunities and activities that are offered to me from outside agencies, I share with you in assemblies each week. Now, the point of doing these things is not just to gain an experience, which is, that's a valid reason for doing these things in itself, but actually there are other reasons for exploring some of these extracurricular opportunities. Oftentimes you will find that they enrich your studies. Many of the extracurricular activities are linked to the subjects that you may be studying, but also they may give you ideas for university courses that you might want to do, different apprenticeships and careers. You might discover a passion for a particular element of your subject or a particular type of work that you would not have discovered if you had just been confining your sixth form experience to your studies inside a classroom. So yes, these experiences are about you growing as a person, and part of that is just about trying new things and trying to stretch yourself both academically and in terms of your social interactions. But also sometimes you may find that engaging in some different types of opportunities and different types of activities build your confidence in areas that you hadn't thought about before, and also give you some ideas for future study or jobs, careers, apprenticeships that wouldn't otherwise have jumped into your consciousness if you had not explored some of these different options outside of the classroom. One example of an ex-student who really squeezed every little last drop out of all the different extracurricular opportunities that were offered is Nina Holgren. And this little piece that she has done to camera talks about all the different experiences that she was able to tap into during her time in sixth form. Now, a lot of these involve travel, and a lot of these involve going places that might not be as feasible now. But the point is that she just grabbed opportunities, and she carved some out for herself, but also she just accepted all those that came in her direction. I think this is a good lesson that you could learn as you enter the sixth form. Take every opportunity that's available and pursue every different extracurricular activity that you're interested in, because there are lots and lots of things on offer. Here's what Nina did during her time in the sixth form. The story.
During sixth form, I had many opportunities that were all free, actually, so it was really good. In my first year, I applied to be an Auschwitz ambassador. So I got to go to Auschwitz in Poland and learned about the Holocaust, and then I went back to school and I performed an assembly for year sevens to talk about Holocaust, to have start those conversations about World War II, which was really good. And then with other people from school, I did the Euroscholar competition, which was great fun, and we did this mock newsreel, and then because we won, we got invited to actually perform our script in front of like professional crew. And then we went to Strasbourg to the European Parliament to debate with other countries about important issues, which was really amazing. On the train back from Euroscholar, I was approached by a teacher and just said, you should apply for this thing. It's a history trip / language trip to Berlin to talk about the 20th century history of Berlin Wall, World War II, etc. And I applied. I just talked about how much I love history and importance to connect cultures together. And I got in, and I went to Berlin for a couple of days to go to this house where a book was written about, like almost a biography of the house, which was really cool. And I met lots of people, and it was great fun, and it was so fascinating to hear different perspectives on history and identity, which was a crucial part of the seminars. And then in year 13, I went to Greece as a part of the Erasmus programme with some other year 12 students from the school. And we learned about science in ancient Greece, which was amazing. And we had 5 days there, I think, and we went around lots of different sites. We kind of did the touristy things a bit of going to museums and stuff like that, which as a history student I was loving. And then also we did kind of more of the science side and looking into how Greeks perceive the world. So I had lots of opportunities. They were all very gratefully and thankfully free. So I didn't have to shed out any money to go, which was really great. These opportunities have really been invaluable for me, developing as a person.
So what you can see there from Nina's story, and you'll be able to watch the full interview with Nina when it's released on Facebook in a few weeks' time, is that she really just grabbed every possible thing that she could to help her to grow. And she said that it really helped her develop as a person, and it helped to boost her confidence and develop her communication skills. And she had a really, really good time doing all of those things that she mentioned. Right. Now, it's all very well me telling you about these opportunities and me telling you how to get the most out of sixth form, but I'm generally uh, old in comparison to the sixth form students that I teach, and I am old in comparison to you. So it's probably better if you listen to some advice from some people who have recently been in the sixth form themselves. So what is to follow? And I say thanks to the people involved in advance for doing this, in order to give you some insight into a student's perspective on how to get the most out of sixth form. What you are going to see is a series of little vox pops, a series of little pieces to camera from some ex sixth formers, and they're going to give you their perspective on how you should try and get the most out of sixth form. So what is it that they thought was really important? What can you learn from their experiences who've been through the sixth form, about how to get the most out of your time with us? So without further ado, let's hear what they have to say.
One thing I would say that you can do to make the most of your time at sixth form is speak to everyone in the sixth form, not just the people that are in your lessons, because it's really nice when everyone can come in the common room and like play a board game or just sit in a big group and chat. It's nice when like you can just speak to everyone there. Another thing I would say is ask questions in lessons if you don't understand, and definitely ask your teachers for advice. If you need extra help in lessons, because they're always going to be there to give you that support, so don't be afraid to ask. Another thing I would say is whatever opportunities come your way, definitely take them. Like go on the trips in the sixth form, go down to the care home at lunchtime with a group of people. Like it's really nice to get involved in the trips.
Number 1. Workplace mentality. I know this sounds odd, but please hear me out. No, studying A-levels is not a job, but thinking and working like an employee is the best way to approach A-levels. 2. Opportunities. Celebrities and self-help gurus like to say, follow your dreams. But the other side of the coin of life is taking opportunities, which are always available when dreams fail. My curricular case study is the week-long trip to CERN in Geneva, Switzerland in July. Not only did I visit the main centre for particle research, but visited the cathedral and many wonders Europe has to offer. There are also opportunities to help the local community in Teesdale when you are part of the sixth form family, like the Rotary Club, which does tremendous charitable work.
When it comes to making the most of your time in sixth form, I think there are maybe like 3 or 4 things that I would say. So the first one's probably the most boring one, but just after each lesson, if you've got free, I would just take notes for like 20 minutes, half an hour, because it just means that you don't end up with a huge build-up of stuff. And I mainly did like essay subjects, but I know the people who did sciences, there's so much content that they would just do a flashcard after every lesson, and that makes it much easier. And in terms of essay-based subjects, I would just say, like, especially with coursework, get it. Don't leave it all to the end, because it's just horrific if you leave it all to the end. So you want to other things like when you're in sixth form, you get offered certain things, helping out in lower school, which can be quite useful, especially if you want to do like put it on your UCAS and stuff. So you can like help out in year 7 lessons and stuff, which can be quite rewarding. Or like I managed the year 7 football team for a couple of years, which was good. It's a good thing to put on your UCAS personal statement and stuff. There's like a sixth form committee, which is good, so you can that's another way of using your time to help organise stuff and like have film nights. We did film nights and we did like quizzes and stuff. There's like a good sense of community in sixth form that is different to like year 11 or whatever you've been used to. because everybody kind of knows each other much better, and you're like always doing stuff together. And then finally, I would say if you've got frees, and especially in year 12, if you've done your work and you've got frees, just like relax and like play games and stuff. We've got loads of random games in the common room.
I think what's really interesting about the advice given there by those students, they were asked the question, how can you get the most out of your time in the sixth form? And of course, they talked about socializing, and they talked about opportunities and extracurricular activities and various different things that are the sort of outside of the classroom experience. But they also talked about the importance of keeping on top of your work. There's some good advice there about just taking stock after each lesson and making some flashcards or writing down a summary of your notes so you understand what's gone on in the lesson, asking questions of your teacher, make sure that you don't sort of sit there wondering, and you always ask a question and make sure that you understand what's happening in every lesson so you can join your learning up. And so I think the two things, the first session that we talked about study skills and about preparing academically, and this session which has talked more about extracurricular activities and making the most of opportunities, those two things actually go together. Because if you stay on top of your studies and you're working hard and you're meeting deadlines and you're asking questions and you're organized, that frees up the possibility for you to enjoy all of these things outside of the classroom much more readily, with actually a lot less stress, because you have the time and the freedom to do these things, because the other part of your sixth form experience, your studies, are under control and organized, and you're in charge of that. And so if I could sort of add to the advice that's being given, if you look after the study side of your sixth form experience, then you will much more greatly benefit from the extracurricular and the social side of your sixth form experience. Now, these extracurricular pursuits, I keep using that phrase because they are outside of the syllabus that you are studying or outside of the particular curriculum that you are following in the classroom. They are about you being able to build up a sort of bank of experiences that you may use in the future. They are about you growing as a person, but they are also about you serving the local community and inspiring the local community and trying to change the lives of those around you for the better. You are, as sixth formers, the leaders in the school. You are the role models for younger students, and we want our sixth form to be an inspiration to both that immediate school community, but also the wider community as well. And so we want you to develop as leaders, and we want you to develop as people who make a real difference in the lives of those around them. Okay, so hopefully that has given you an insight into some of the extracurricular activities, some of the different ways that you could make the most out of your sixth form experience in terms of opportunities outside of the classroom. One of the things that one student said to me in an email during lockdown was that she missed her sixth form family. That was the thing that she missed about lockdown and about not being in sixth form. And I would like to think that if you throw yourself into your sixth form experience, if you work hard, if you grab all the different opportunities that come your way, that you will enjoy sixth form as one of the best times in your life, and that you will form friendships and you will feel as though you are part of a family. That is really what we want our sixth form to be. We want it to be a big extended family where people can challenge each other, people can support each other, and people can work together to grow as people and to become the best student and the best person, actually, which is more important, that they can be. So Until next time, take care, stay safe, goodbye.